Hi. So my name is Natalie and I'm a psychic. I'm about to do a reading on Derrick and Da'Naia Jackson. Um, just because I don't know, just something's really off about that situation, and I was gonna just do it for myself just to see, and I figured I'd record it. So we're gonna do look into him, look into her, look into their connection, look into the divorce, look into all of it. Um, I normally go live on Facebook, but decided to do it here. All right. All right. So I'm going to start with Derrick because I just want to get a feel for his energy, and I'm just going to see what Spirit has to say about it. First card that popped out, Two of Swords reversed, Five of Cups, Derrick Jaxn, the energy of Derrick Jaxn. All right. Nine of Swords reversed, Four of Wands, the Moon, couple things kind of starting to fly out. Wheel of Fortune reversed, Ten of Pentacles reversed, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Justice, and the last two cards that want to come out are Four of Pentacles and the Chariot. We got Nine of Wands on the bottom. So the first thing that really came up as I was reading, like the energy, and especially at the bottom of the deck, this feels like protecting oneself, looking to do a little bit of damage control. I do see here that there has been a decline in the connection, especially when I see things like these two things in the same reading. The connection was on a decline for sure. I would say that um, his energy shows that to him the relationship has been over. Like in his mind, in his energy, um, it was like it's over, but it's not over. Like you're not saying it, we're not saying it like the relationship was dying or the relationship been over anyway. It's almost like they really weren't repairing the relationship, or at least he didn't feel like they were. He didn't feel like things were better. Um, I'm also picking up here. This has been about a 5-month long decline, Maybe there's just been a back and forth on whether they should be together or not. So the actual truth is, they have been going through issues. They have been hiding it. They have been trying to go back and forth on figuring out what they were going to do. Um, the thing that also comes up here, at least from his energy, is a big issue here is going to actually be dealing with the fact that he didn't really want to disrupt their family, but I think a lot of it is coming from the simple fact that he has like that mentality of it's cheaper to keep her, right? She has children with him. He has gained a lot of his wealth in the relationship, and so yeah, like he's built a lot in that connection, and in order for him to leave the connection, he'd actually have to be willing to forfeit a sizable amount of what he has built. And so, and again, a lot of this is coming and kind of like boiling down to money, trying to figure out how are we going to divide assets. What am I going to be able to give her? Um, you know, am I going to move out? Is she going to keep the house? What are we going to do? You know, it's one of those things where he he may have checked out emotionally from the relationship months ago. It feels like he might have even been trying to figure out his escape plan months ago. He was trying to line up a new relationship or relationships starting from months ago. And now, um, uh, Spirit is so funny. And now, he's just kind of been like in the cut. I keep getting the energy of damage control that keeps coming up, that keeps wanting to come out of my mouth here. But the relationship has been on a decline from his end for a while, and it has been a burden. Um, it feels like especially once he it's like once everything came out and she was hip and she was knowing, and it's like it's it's like once the cat was out of the bag, like the relationship was kind of like over then, or the relationship might even been feeling like it was over before before the cheating. Then he got caught and then they tried it again, and it's just like he gives the energy of like, let me love bomb you, let me be there for you, and then like getting out of that, coming out of that desire, coming out of that, um almost in a sense of like forcing or wanting to force something for him that's not there. um so what is his true feelings for Miss Da'Naia? The truth is, I feel like he doesn't. It's almost like he's growing, and she's like holding him back. He feels like she's not growing with him. She's not changing. You know, he does feel love there. There's connection. He feels like she compliments him, but he's not attracted to her. He's not sexually desiring her. Um, I feel like he. Why are y'all talking so damn much on here? I feel like he doesn't really want to let her go. I think it's just like a possessiveness there, or he doesn't really like the idea of her being free from him. Like he wants to hold her and possess her, but it doesn't feel right. It feels like the marriage or the connection, right? It's like he's outgrown the relationship, or he feels like he's outgrown the connection. Um, especially now that he has access to social media and women, and he sees people all over the world. Like, it's almost a situation. It's like maybe it was cute, maybe it was good back when, before he had access, before he was famous, before he had the money that he has, before he had the kind of women throwing themselves at him that are available to him. Maybe she was okay for who he used to be, but who he is now, or who he sees himself as being, he feels like that relationship is over with, or it's outgrown. Like I said, I see that he's not really physically or sexually attracted to her. Um, I do feel like they they have more of a business connection, or there's more of like a long standing, hey, I've been with you for so long, or it's almost that kind of vibe. But I don't get that he wants to actually uh, sleep with her the way he is with other women, or the women he has, or maybe she's just not freaky, I don't know. But anyway, I feel like he just didn't want to leave, and he didn't want to leave her. He also didn't want to have to pay for leaving her. He didn't want to have to pay spousal support, alimony, all the things. Which is funny because as he, may have been known to pander to women, and your man should do this and that and a third for you. It's almost like he's put himself and made himself stuck in this box of this expectation of saying this, and now that the relationship is now over, he's going to now have to put his money where his mouth is. He's set himself up to have to do the things. Like, again, this is all boiling down to like a desire of not wanting to be um, responsible for that. Okay. They their communication was on a decline. It didn't feel it it and so was their sex drive. Their sex life feels non-existent. It feels also kind of like one of those things where, oh, and this too, like, you know, she could feel things, and she would say things. I feel like she either has like extremely high intuition, or like some sort of spiritual gift that she hasn't like worked through and like mastered. So it sounds like craziness a lot. Um, but she knew a lot. And she would say things that would let him know that she knew. Um, but their communication wasn't the best, and also their sex life was really not what he was looking for. And here he is with all these women who are, tempting. But I do feel like, her being the mother of his child or children, it it that is actually part of the reason why they got married, is because of the child or the children that they have. Um, but he didn't really. I don't get the desire of like, I want you, I want to be with you. I don't get the desire of really any of that. I feel like I put myself in this position and I'm stuck. My back is against the wall. Um, and also not feeling like he can leave, you know, or not feeling like he can leave beforehand, I should say. So this is somebody who, he's been battling this shit for quite a while, I'll say. He's been battling this feeling for a while, of not really wanting to be with her, not really wanting to be in the connection, not really wanting to be with it. Yeah, just, yeah. He's been in that feeling for a while. And the funny thing is, like, the connection is like she has more of like a shell. Like, her energy is very much more repressed than his. And it's like he liked that. But it's also that, you know, he got his cake with her and he got to eat it with the other people, other women. And so anyway, I'm gonna pull Danae's cards and see what's going on with her. Okay. So this is interesting. This keeps coming out for her, and it came out for him as well. Danaia, um, she gave the energy of motherhood. She gave the energy of like someone who he may have wanted to have like as the trophy. Hey, you're my wife. You're this devout woman who's all devoted to me, devoted to our family. Um, she also gives the energy of a person that's just kind of like sitting and waiting. She is the energy of a person that I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, she experienced um, multiple pregnancies from him, or the pregnancy being the indicator for why they were together, or she could have even lost a baby. And my condolences to them if that's what happened. But I feel like there's something about the connection that it's like it trailed off though. Um, and again, she gets the energy of loss as well. She also gives the energy of being in like a dark place. I feel like she might have actually had a situation where she lost her child, or something, you know, sad. Yeah, spirit showing the loss of a child. I actually think that that might be why they had the decline, like the lack of sex, the lack of communication, because this gives me the vibes of someone who's depressed. Um, she's mourning the relationship also, but more than anything, mourning the loss of the child. Um, and it's interesting because she is the energy of somebody that's been wanting to leave the connection, and I see this as being as long as 3 years ago. Um, so it doesn't, you know, whatever people show you on social media is usually not real. She's just been like pouring herself into her religion though, and trying to help that bring her out of whatever darkness she is in. But I feel like there's something about her either losing a child or not being able to produce the children or have more children, and that is something that she is attributing to the loss of the connection. Um, like in her mind, she may think or feel that the relationship is dwindling because of that, or she may have been pregnant and lost the baby. I don't know, but it feels like that's how she's that's how she's seeing it. Um, she's also worried about the children, and also like, you know, making sure he doesn't take the children from her. Um, which it seems like that's something he would do to not have to pay child support, which spirit just showed me that. Um, mm. Because on his reading, he had a hard time wanting to let the relationship go because he didn't want to have to pay. He didn't want to have to pay child support. He didn't want to have to pay alimony, child support. He didn't want to have to, you know, give her all the money that he's made. And yeah, she's trying to figure out what she's gonna do with herself. She wanted to leave and she couldn't because she really wasn't working and she didn't know where she would go. So this gives me the vibes of a person who is isolating you and making you financially dependent on them and putting it under the guise of I'm taking care of you because I love you. But in reality is I don't want you to be independent and I don't want you to seek anything outside of me because I'm the one who gets to determine whether you have it or don't have it. Um, and this flew out here also. This again, as I look at all of this stuff, and then here we go at the bottom of the deck. she she gives me the vibes of a person who has really nothing and no one to turn to. Like she gives me the energy of someone being isolated. Like Jesus is her only friend. Um, she gives me the vibes of a person who does not have her own two legs to stand on. She gives me the vibes of somebody who needed him to approve of or give her permission for things because he set it up that way. And man, let's pull some more cards though. Um, what is Da'Naia's true feelings towards Derrick? The true feelings towards Derrick is honestly, um, I feel like she is going to have a hard time moving on. I feel like her having a hard time moving on, though, is not because of anything other than the simple fact that she'll be out there on her own and she won't have guidance and directions. Like he kind of set it up that he made the decisions. He made this. He did that. Like he was the one that chose what she was gonna do, what she wasn't gonna do, what they ate, what they drank, how life was. It's like this is somebody whose life was controlled allegedly by this man, where he just it's like he put it under the guise of I'm taking care of you because I'm an alpha man and I'm masculine and I got you and I'm providing for you and I got you don't have to do nothing but just be my wife and raise my children. And now that it's over, or I can even just say now that it's over, while it was happening, right? It's like he left her out of the loop. A lot of things regarding everything that was going on, she didn't know. She didn't know what was happening. She didn't know what they were like. She didn't know his whereabouts. She didn't know what was happening. And so while that was taking place, like she's just in the dark about everything, here she will have to be a woman and a mother, single and alone, essentially, for the first time in however many years. And the first time she's going to have to stand on her own 2 feet and do it by herself. And that is the part where I think is the biggest concern, because it's like, what do I do now? What do I do now? It's funny because that's actually a common phenomenon where a woman is like a displaced home owner, a home maker, where a woman just spent her whole time, instead of working, instead of having job experience and life experience, she was just a stay-at-home wife. And then the relationship is over, and now it's hard for you to figure out how you're going to get a job. It's hard for you to figure out how you're going to make ends meet because you didn't have any time to build up anything for yourself. It's giving, I don't know how to survive in this world alone. I think that's the biggest part. I think that's the one thing that's really throwing her off from being able to really move forward. And that's the part that really is hesitating about moving forward here, is because you don't have the sense of direction. You don't know where you're doing. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how to go about and get this done. You don't know how to make this happen. It's just like when your parents don't prepare you for life and you're an adult and you don't know what the fuck to do. Like, she gives the energy of a person that never really was in a position to take care of herself. Um, yeah, she don't know what she gonna do. I think they've already even maybe had conversations about money, or about how things are going to be or what they're going to do. And it doesn't feel like she feels secure in in what they're about to do. It feels like she's nervous, scared, like the connection that's over, right? It's over, but it feels like she is like fearing what will happen next. Um she's hurt, but it's not like she's blindsided by it. Um Again, spirit is showing a person that's hurt more so because it's like you're leaving me to fend for myself now. You made me dependent on you, and now you're leaving me high and dry. You made me dependent on you, and while I was trusting you, you was abusing my trust and doing XYZ with who knows who. And now, you know, we ain't even fixed our relationship. We ain't even got a chance to fix. It's like it feels like she's lost, and she don't know what to do. And like she may even only have so much time left in the space that they're in before she got to figure out where she's finna go. It's like she don't know where she's finna go. She don't know what she's finna do. She don't know what the next 6 months of her life is finna look like. And not only that, but her kids. Not only that, but the things that she's experienced, the things that she lost, the things that she's gone through, the pain and the suffering that she's experienced. It's like you ain't even had a chance to heal from that shit. Now here you are, gotta figure it out. And I think it's just that onset of trauma that is happening here. That's really the problem. Um, so I'm gonna look at the relationship, but I saw his energy and I saw hers. His energy actually sunlight. I just read your message. It says, poor woman, I feel like she was a victim of narcissistic abuse from him, constantly gaslighting her, and her needs weren't being met, and she detached from reality to cope. I feel like, yeah, I mean, even beyond narcissistic abuse, you know, emotional, financial abuse here. Um, I see a lot of isolation in her reading in a lot of ways. Feel like again, this is a person that's not prepared to face the world. And I hate saying it like that. But that's truly how I feel. I don't think that she's really ready for this world because she doesn't have life skills from what I'm able to pick up. Um, she doesn't know what she's about to do next. And so this is the part where, like when you see that, it's a little scary. It's a little sad. Let me see what the relationship was like prior to the actual announcement of divorce. What was their relationship like? And I'm gonna pull for I'm gonna pull for him, her, and the center, which would be the middle. What was that relationship actually like? So, what was his perspective of the relationship? Okay. Wow. His perspective is that, well, her perspective, I'm going to tell you guys in a moment. And then what is the center? What is the truth? Wow. 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 Okay, y'all. I'm saying wow a lot because it's a lot. Okay, Spirit. Um, so his perspective, Derrick's perspective, this was their relationship before it ended. Okay. Ten of Swords reversed. Nine of Wands reversed. Nine of Wands upright, excuse me. To the Lovers and the Moon reverse. This man, he ended it. He already had it already been over with. Um, Again, I saw that when I did his reading, when I saw him. So yeah, it was over. I do feel like he was moving silently though. He was trying to keep things under wraps with his moon card here. Just kind of nervous and concerned about how people would see him. He did find someone or find people to be with and stuff, because I saw him planning, to move forward and move on. Once he made the decision that it was over, he had, made the decision to like move forward and move on, um, and kind of like revisit people. I would say women who may have been in his inbox before, people who he may have already been dealing with before, um, just kind of like reacclimating himself into the dating scene or into accessing women. So he had already like decided, okay, this relationship is over. Let me go ahead and line up the next thing. But I mean, I'm still Derrick Jaxn, relationship guy, telling everybody I'm working on it with my wife. So let me not tell nobody. So he knew what he was doing, right? Da'Naia, um, she actually she did feel that they were going backwards. Um, she was leaning heavily into Jesus, real bad. Um, Trying to make sure that the relationship, it's like they were kind of either way. In her mind, she thought they can go either way. She thought they were moving forward, but then it seemed like they weren't, and they were kind of like on the fence. And so she started, asking and praying and all the things, so that way it can happen. Here's the actual relationship. We got the Fool reversed, Nine of Cups reversed, Eight of Swords reversed, Ace of Cups reversed. All reverse cards. These folks had no sense of direction. They didn't know really what they were doing, how they were going. They were kind of like winging it. They were just, hey, let's just stay together. Let's see how long we can stay together. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just like, dang, like this really is crazy. Like you guys literally was writing books on how to survive bullshit in the relationship, but y'all really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? You got this fucking Nine of Cups reversed. Neither of them were happy. Neither of them really wanted to stay. It's like, but you're stuck though, right? She's stuck because she's dependent upon him. He's stuck because he made her dependent upon him. So if he leaves her, he's gonna have to give her half of everything. And he's gonna have to keep, doing for her ongoing until she marries again or whatever. Especially because it's public knowledge that he cheated. So he would owe her alimony. He would. Or spousal support or whatever. It's like he knows that. He knew that he would be financially responsible for her and the child or children or whatever. He would be responsible for that. So they were stuck because it's cheaper to keep her, right? They were stuck because neither of them really wanted to deal with the division of assets, I would say. Then you got, again, Eight of Swords reversed. It's like They were putting themselves and making themselves stuck because they just didn't have a plan. They didn't work out an exit strategy. And it's funny because I always say this, even if you love somebody and that's your soulmate and that's who you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, like you still need to, just as much as you plan a wedding, you need to plan a divorce. You need to figure that out, because doing it now is just stressful. Ace of Cups reverse. The relationship dried up. Emotions dry. It was a stale connection. The connection was dry and stale. There wasn't the warmthness, the affection. There wasn't that. They were just together just to be together. Um, you know, and yeah. So they were just, again, holding on for what? I guess appearances, you know, trying to figure it out, trying to sort out their money. But they didn't really have a plan. They didn't really have it together. They didn't really know what they were doing. Um, so now, how long has Derrick been talking to the young lady that he was found with at the place that he was exposed for? He's known her for a little minute. I'll say at least, according to that, 10 months. Um, you know, um, so that would mean earlier this year they may have met. How did he meet her? Honestly, this was definitely done in a sneaky way, on the down low. Um, this to me feels like this is somebody who he has been dealing with in private. This is somebody who I would definitely say he's pillow talked with her about the relationship. He's told her that they were getting a divorce, or he may have said that they were separated or something along the lines like that. This is somebody who I think he did. It's not somebody he barely knew. This is not somebody he just met. This is, and the what's really interesting is that he gives me the energy of a person that likes old flames, or he likes people who he's known for a while. He's a person that's deals with patterns. He gives me the energy of a person that, he might have talked to somebody briefly, and then it just kind of like trailed off, and then he came back to it. But he circles back a lot. He spins the block a lot. He lied to her about the status of his relationship and his marriage. This is a person, and Sunlight had said it. Narcissistic energy. This is a person who triangulated the situation. Pitted the two women against each other. Especially the new woman, thinking and all that. I would say that, yeah, he likes old connections a lot, or established connections, or he's a person that likes to deal with people who he's dealt with before. I wouldn't say that they have like the most history, but I would say that he's known of her, or they've known of each other, or they've had connection for a little while. It is not like something that this is just, oh, I was out and I met this lady that day. No. Mm-mm. because he has to try to build up and see if he can trust you to hold his secrets. He ain't gonna meet a random person um, and entrust that they're not going to try to expose him. Like they have to have shown through it. It's like he's testing folks. With that being said, though, yeah, he told her he was single. He also said something along the lines of like, I just deal with her because she needs me financially. She doesn't have money on her own. She needs me to take care of and provide for her, so that's why I still live with her. Like I'm broken up with her, but I let her live with me because she doesn't have. It's like that kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, I live with my baby mama, but that's because I'm helping her out. Or I live with my uncle, but I'm helping him, and it's like, no, you're not doing that. Yeah, he's made it seem like this is done. This is not it. Like he was speaking this like it was the case before he even spoke it to his wife. Allegedly. Say that again. With the Justice card, the Five of Cups, and the Empress, he acknowledges also that there was a loss of a pregnancy. Also, he acknowledges that. I would not be surprised if they was all about it when they first got back together. They tried it, they was fucking. She got pregnant again. Something happened. The baby didn't come through. And then after that, she went through her depression and postpartum and all that. And while she was detached from that and dealing with her own shit, and she wasn't available for him to take over and do the things and blah, 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 that's when he started looking for someone else. Because he, funny enough, in his reading originally, it was like, yeah, like, the baby, I had to take care of the baby. And then it's like, well, I'm free now. There's no baby coming. It's like, and in her, she's healing from this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like she's healing from this shit. And then I see this other woman, and it's like she's coming up around the time, and I'm seeing of him acknowledging that there was a loss of a child. I'll be honest with you, he might have used this loss as a reason to fucking be with someone else. Like, oh, well, you were going. It's like I needed support. And you know what's so fucking funny? And it's not funny, but I know someone in my real life who was married to someone who cheated after they lost a baby. And yeah, that's literally almost the exact same vibe that I'm getting. And I think that those are the details that's not coming out. Because how fucked up would it look if this man was outed for cheating on his wife after she lost a baby? And I'm not saying that it's, again, allegedly pregnant, allegedly lost a baby, allegedly cheated, gotta say it. But yeah, I see these two things together. It shows after that the loss means it was over. Like he let it be. It's like, all right, I'm off the hook. This does feel again like I don't know. He gives me the energy of a fucking liar, like a compulsive liar, like a person that's fucking lying to every fucking person that he meets. Okay, so did he triangulate the women? Yeah, for sure. Pillow talking, saying something to her about. Yeah, he was for sure doing that. Spirit. He was talking to her about the marriage and the problems in the marriage. Um, Talking about how they don't talk. They don't. It's like he. Oh God, he was telling her that they was leaving and he was moving out and they weren't going to be together and he just was trying to figure out the plan and it's it's over and the relationship is all dried up. We don't have intimacy. I'm just there for the family and the kids and just wow, that they don't sleep together. He was telling her, we don't sleep together. Like you're the only. We're not even together. We're not even a thing. We don't even have anything. Um, ooh, sounds like a cancer for real. Um, so when Da'Naia saw the post, um, how did she feel? Hold on one second, y'all. Hello. Oh no, it's not available. Thank you. All right, sorry, y'all. Um, yeah, she. This was not something that she was prepared for. I don't think she was prepared at all for the relationship to be over. Like I said, because she doesn't show herself as having like ducks in a row. She doesn't show herself like I feel like if he was like making it obvious that they were not going to be together, like true, like he might have just been cold, he might have been detached, and that's a thing cancers do. But he it's like if he like while he was being cold and detached, he was lining his shit up for what he gonna do. He's lining the next chick up. He was preparing himself for the next chapter of life. But she was not. I don't see her being prepared. I don't see her being someone that was like, just knowledgeable about this that she needs to now be prepared for. I feel like I can't say I want to say blindsided, but I feel like her ancestors was telling her ass to get the fuck out of there, and she was just like, I don't know how. And it's like with that, it's like she wasn't blindsided because she had the signs around her. But he wasn't directly saying, I want to leave this connection. He wasn't directly saying those things. So she just assumed that it was okay and that they may have just been going through a rough spot. And she just was praying more and more to Jesus. Um, Sorry, somebody texted me. But yeah, it's like she didn't seem prepared for it. Um, I'm just looking at a person who just kind of sitting there and hoping that she gets her justice in court. I'm seeing somebody that's hoping that everything will be all right in the end. And she has a strong, like a tremendous amount of faith. So one thing I know about people who have a lot of faith, they tend to be like very Jupiterian or have like a lot of Sag placements or Pisces placements also. And those people tend to believe that things will work out, and they tend to work out because that's how strongly you believe it will. Um, But she was ignoring her intuition. And he was draining her life. He was draining her life force. He was draining her ashe. He was draining her. The connection was draining her. And so in some ways, like I could see relief here at the end of the rainbow. Like it's the end of the rainbow. There's a way for her to overcome this shit. But I also feel like it's like, how am I gonna, like, what are we gonna do in until then, in between the time that we're there? I don't know. I feel like it didn't it it's like one of those things where, like, I'm not surprised that he decided to file for divorce, but I'm also like, damn, like, I thought we was working on it, type of thing. I should have known. I seen the signs. I felt it. I thought it was happening. I was just hoping and praying that it wouldn't be that. Trying to pray and hope that your intuition is wrong, and you should never go against your intuition. Her ancestors were like screaming at her, and it's just like she just froze because she didn't know what to do. What made him post that divorce announcement? Why did he do that? And I'm also going to ask about Da'Naia's curse. Tasha K. That's true. It truly was because of her. Truly, 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 truly was. And because he did want to divorce. He did want to leave. He didn't know how to do it. He didn't know the process in which it was going to take place. But I also feel like because the court here is involved, it's like, and everything here is public. It is public, meaning that he tried to circumvent it, and by making it seem like they've had problems for months, they decided to be done. They decided to end things and all those things. So that way he wouldn't be seen as a cheater the second time. And he's trying to prevent having to pay as much money out. Again, this is him trying to protect his brand, trying to protect his investments, his finances, his assets. He doesn't want to lose everything in the relationship because he cheated. So he's trying to make it seem like, well, I didn't cheat because we were already done. The relationship was over. We decided not to be together. He tried to beat her to the punch. He also didn't want court of public opinion to run wild with it and not ever be able to recover from his past. But the truth is, he posted it to protect himself financially from divorcing and from, because he didn't want her to have physical proof and tangible proof that he cheated again after they decided to work things out. I don't know. Maybe I feel like he's talked to a lawyer or something to the effect of, hey, like, yeah, if you guys were gonna divorce because you cheated, that's cool. But if you guys decide to stay together and you guys decide to stay together for a year or whatever, and then it just ended again because you guys just didn't have the end of the relationship, like maybe she won't be able to get the money, or she won't be able to get as much, or it's something about having some sort of advice to stick it out and to thug it out and to make it work and to make it last um, long enough for the relationship to be done, because you guys are just done and you guys just don't fit anymore, versus it being done because you cheated. Um, this this guy is, wow, one of the most egregious people I've ever met. I've never met him, but energetically, sir, you was like, look, we're not divorcing because of me cheating. We're divorcing because we had other issues in the relationship, and the relationship just wasn't it. We just are not a good match. We're breaking up for all these other things. Breaking up because of all these other stressors and things that we've gone through. It's not because I cheated. And I decided to be with this girl after we decided to be over with, and we already been over with. Like, it's, oh my god, it's such fucking word salad, fucking talking in circles, motherfucking manipulation here, motherfucking splitting hairs. Like, that's the what the hell. Oh my god. He been trying to fix it. He been trying to figure out how to get out of this shit for at least a couple of years. Wow, what the hell? All right, and last but not least, Da'Naia, and this damn curse that she put on people. Why? Why? Why did she do that? Honestly, she felt like people was putting curses on her. She felt like people was trying to prey on the downfall of their marriage. She felt like she didn't. She was also very confused. I feel like she didn't understand who her enemy was. She didn't realize that, this was not someone who she should be with, who she should trust. She, you know, wow, okay. She thought she was protecting her family. She thought if she could just get everybody else out of the relationship, they could work things out. But ultimately, I think she was just in denial. And I feel like she is in a place where she can see that now, that she made a mistake and that she shouldn't have said those things. But she was trying to protect her family. She was trying to protect her relationship. She was trying to send back whatever negative energy that was she felt was being sent to her, but the reality is he was the negative energy. It was him. I just feel like she was it's called reactionary abuse, but I feel like she just applied it to the wrong people and not but also she was being ridiculed by people a lot too, you know. Um she was being ridiculed. Um she was hoping that, he wasn't cheating, but she felt it. I feel like she felt it. I feel like, and again, this all kind of boils down to feeling it, especially with regards to losing a child. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but I feel like this keeps coming up in the reading. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say it again, allegedly though. And then last but not least, I'm gonna get um, some of the messages from Derrick and some of the messages from Da'Naia, and we're gonna close out the reading. Messages that Derrick has to Da'Naia. All right, what messages does Derrick Jaxn have for Da'Naia Jackson? His first message is, I'm not into you like that. That's the first message. I'm not into you like that. Well, I'm not done with my other girl. So he was dealing with someone. He's not done with her. He's gonna still deal with her. You know. I fuck up everything that is important to me. Okay. So he admits being toxic, self-sabotaging. I don't want you back. Oh my fucking God. Wow. One more card. Oh my goodness. I love you. That is insane. That is insane. I don't deserve you. I'm working on my money right now. I'm not ready to settle down. So, he wants to be single. He's ready to be single. He doesn't want to be in a connection. He's not really interested in her like that. He does care for her. He does love her, but he doesn't want to be with her. He's not interested. He does self-sabotage things. He does need to work on himself. He feels like he has to work on his finances, but I kept seeing that in the reading. He was trying to stay in a relationship so he could figure out how to handle his finances, what to do so that way he doesn't have to be, responsible financially for her. Now, what are her messages? Da'Naia Jackson's messages to Derrick. I can still feel your energy. Okay, she still feels him. I am afraid of your rejection. I still think about you. Do you still love me? And we got a couple more that wants to come out. She also has, I'm not into you like that. She don't really want that man. But it's almost like she needs him. She needs his approval. She needs to be with, it's like, I need you to validate me. You being with me, you loving me, you claiming me shows me that I'm worthy of something. Shows me that I deserve love. It's like she has no self-esteem. I'm not sure about how I feel about you. That's what she says to Derrick. My friends be in my head about you. So the people who do care about her are telling her that this is not the right guy for her. And why can't we be friends? And last but not least, this card came out twice. It said, I am with someone else. I stare at memories or pics or messages of us. So she is like stuck. Knowing better, but not able to do better because she's stuck in the connection. Like she's stuck. Like she needs him to validate her. That's all she knows. She doesn't know nothing else about him. She's dependent on him in a lot of ways. And like she just doesn't have her own 2 feet to stand on. So she's staring at pictures and memories of the times that they were probably happy. Probably trying to think and figure out if they were actually happy then. But yeah, he doesn't really like her. He doesn't want to be with her. And neither of them really want each other, honestly. But it's just, she's conditioned to need him. She's conditioned to need his approval. She's conditioned to need his, validation. And he wants the validation of everybody else but her. This was a miserable connection. This was not a loving connection. He is not a relationship guru or expert. He is not someone who I would ever trust my relationship with ever. Ever. This is one of the most toxic, manipulative people I've ever read, period. And she needs psychiatric help, okay? Because she's been broken mentally and psychologically and spiritually, financially, in every way possible. And now here she is left to pick up her pieces of herself, and he has broken her down and discarded her. So that is awful, horrible, sad. Everything he's ever done has been calculated and manipulative, and it sucks. So anyway, I'm sorry to have such a sad reading, but I will be back when I'm back for another reading at another time. Y'all have a good one. Good rest of your day.